Hi, resilient champions. You are welcome. Thank you for today's video. I hope you had a very beautiful weekend and you are starting the new week with a bang. It's always a pleasure to have you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for everything. I greatly appreciate your love and support. And we are going to have a good time as always. Okay. Hi, everyone. You're so welcome. Thank you so much for always being here. Hey, Mocha. How are you doing? I hope you had a very beautiful weekend and you're starting a very productive week. Hey, Cynthia. Thank you so much for your patience. I I was trying to set up a few things. I hope everything is okay now. Hey, CW Popcorn. I hope you're doing fine. You are welcome. What is popping today? Hey, Queen Sunshine, you are so welcome. It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for your patience, for your love, for your support. It's always a pleasure to have you, and I really appreciate you all. It is always a pleasure to know that I have my I have my backbone people who are always there for me no matter what. And I greatly appreciate you all. It's always a pleasure. So, today our topic will be to share our experiences and discuss about the importance of emotional independence. And that's why we titled the topic is stop being emotionally dependent on people, because emotionally dependent relationships can be harmful because we rely solely on others for emotional support, which can lead to unhealthy habits and can affect our mental health. Hey, Adams. Happy Monday. Thank you so much. Blessings. Always a pleasure to have you. I am so blessed to have you all. I love you all. I thank you for your support, for your love, for your encouragement, for always being there. It's always a great pleasure to know that you have people you can rely on. Hey, Tamika Queen, you are welcome. Thank you so much. I know you are always there for everyone else. We thank you. We are there for you too. So, today we are going to talk about stop being emotionally dependent on people, because when you are emotionally dependent on people, it can damage your mental health. It's very damaging to your mental health. And since you are your own priority, that is why we talk about all these things. And before we even start going so far, what is emotional dependence? A lot of things, a lot of definitions come up, but experts say emotional dependence is a state of relying heavily on another person for emotional support, for validation and identity. They say this can result to low self-esteem, fear of abandonment, and so many other unhealthy things that affect our mental health. And so when we think about how emotional dependence can lead to unhealthy and codependent relationships where one person's emotional well-being is dependent on the other, it is important to recognize and address any patterns of emotional dependence in order to develop a healthy sense of self and promote mutually supportive relationships. Let's acknowledge the people in the chat. I am so blessed to have you all. Hi, Yad. I'm so happy that you can meet the live stream today. Thank you so much for your love and support. Hey, I have my sister and my sister in the journey, life with Marlene. You are so always welcome, Marlene. Thank you so much for all you do, for your love and support. Thank you for being the motivator that you are. Thanks for the share and for the thumbs up. I greatly appreciate you. I want to thank everyone who is in the chat, who is always supporting, and even especially those who are going to watch the replay. The replay squad, I know that you are many, and I also appreciate you very much. So I hope everybody had a very beautiful weekend and that you are starting the week with a bang. Starting the week with a bang means you are ready for anything that this week will throw at you. You are ready to continue your journey and to keep learning and to keep growing. And so you are set. And being set is the most important thing. But you cannot be set for this week if you are not emotionally stable. And that's why we are talking about I Sorry, I've been having technical problems since morning. Uh, I have been having tech issues since morning. I thank you for still being there. It's going on and off. I really pray that we can be able to go through. It's a disaster. I've been struggling since morning with this tech issue. I really am sorry. I hope that thank you very much, Marlene. Yes, I've been having tech issues. That's why we started late, but I thought that I had it fixed. It looks like it's going on and off, so I really crave your indulgence. Thank you so much for your continuous love and support. Hi, Yaya, you are so welcome. Thank you. Gorex Connor, you are welcome. Thank you so much. I really am sorry. So those some of those days that tech will not allow you to really do your thing. Hey fam, the bot files. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you everybody. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for the like and the share. And I pray that we are going to remain connected and that we can be able to. Oh, who is here? The Blink Queen. Thank you so much. Happy holidays. You've been missing. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you. Love you so much. Thanks for coming today and thanks for coming to join. So, we are talking about the importance of emotional independence. And that's why we are going to discuss today about how to stop being emotionally dependent on people. Because, like we say, your independence is very, very necessary, and your emotional independence is inextricably connected to your total well-being. It is a predisposition of everything that you are and that you will be. And that's why it is so important to take time off to address your emotional well-being. And since the emotional, when you develop your emotional independence, it gives you a sense of huge independence, and you are open to every possibility because emotional independence is so important to personal growth and self-reliance. And personal growth is everything that we are talking about in this channel. Every day we are talking about personal growth and some of the ways in which you can really develop that sense of independence. We are always talking about it. Take on new challenges, take new responsibilities. This can help you build confidence, to rebuild your self-confidence, self-reliance, and show that you are capable of handling new situations. So how else can you know that you are capable of handling new situations or every situation? Take on new challenges and responsibilities. Learn to make decisions on your own. This is so, so important. It is true that once in a while we can ask somebody to give their opinion, but when you are asking for the opinion, you already have a great idea of what you want to do. So you are asking somebody's opinion just to have a second thought, not to validate what you want to do, but just to see if what you're doing is of value to you and to the people around you. And that's why you can you that's why you have to learn to make decisions on your own. Practice making your own decisions, even small ones, to build your decision making skills and feel more in control of your life. So when you start practicing how to make decisions, it's not something that it will come overnight. Start with small, small decisions, even just to decide on waking up early or not hitting on that snooze bell when snooze sound when it goes on, when your alarm wakes you. Those are just the small decisions that you can start making on your own, and to build your own self-reliance. And you can embrace your individuality, recognize and celebrate your unique qualities, interests, and talents, and don't be afraid to express them. People always tell me that I speak with an accent, and I say that is my unique superpower, because nobody will speak like me. And so that is my identity. I have taken it as my brand, and I will probably use my accent anywhere, because people have acknowledged and recognized that it is unique to me. Let's welcome some of the queens in the house. Hello, Leila. You are so welcome. Thank you so much. I know that you are always there, and I greatly appreciate you. Look at my beautiful people, R and Bay. You are so welcome. Thank you for the great recipes. I have been enjoying your tips, and I have tried so a few. I will tell you about it. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hey, Wellness with Frugal Mama. I don't know if you finished your own live stream. Thank you. I had to leave because I had to take care of the technical issues, challenges that I had before the beginning of this live stream, and that's why we are a little late. Thank you so much, Frugal Mama. You are always available for everyone, and we greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much for all you do. So we were talking about some of the ways on which you can develop a sense of independence. You can find new challenges and new responsibilities. You can learn to make your own decisions, embrace your individuality, and embrace your unique qualities. Do not be ashamed or afraid to express yourself. That is what makes you you. Just be your authentic self. And you can't do all of this alone. You build your support system. All of you are my support system. There is Yaya, well, there's Frugal Mama, there's Life with Marlene, there's Sunshine. All of you in this chat, you are my support system. And I know that you are encouraging me, and you are there to help me to grow. And so the kind of support system and the kind of people you surround yourself with, you not surrounding yourself at random. You are surrounding yourself with people who are going to help to build you up, with people who are like-minded, with people with whom you can grow together. And that's why it's so beautiful when you take on this journey of your emotional wellness, because you are in the business of taking care of yourself. You want to practice self-care, getting enough sleep, just having some me time, just doing something that will make you happy, something that you will call yours. Just eat some healthy food. Just do one thing, mental, physical energy, something that will boost your mental or physical energy, something that you call yours, that does not depend on other people, or that you don't need other people to help you do it, or to do it with other people. Just do something for yourself. Do your alone time and build your self-confidence. Hey, another queen is here. Hi, Lisby. I hope that everything is getting back to normal. I really appreciate your strength, and I thank God for your life, and for the being the resilient champion that you are. You are a resilient champion like no other, and God will certainly continue to take care of you, to brave all of these waves that are coming. God is going to continue to show you how to navigate the waves. So when we are talking about today's topic, I was like, we really sometimes we are so like overwhelmed by so many things, that we just think that, oh no, this is the end. and that, oh my God, am I going to really survive? How am I going to do it? Is it going to be easy? Is it going to be just like a walk around? And sometimes you don't even know how strong you are, like they say, until being strong is the only thing that you have left. So when we are talking about emotional independence, we are talking about breaking free. Emotional independence is you breaking free. And what are some of the actions that can help you to break free? What are those actions that can help you to break free? Those are the things that we want to share and to discuss today. And I would really always like your input. I love when you have your input in the things that we share together. But before we continue, I we have a few things that are happening in the channel. So we have our reset store that is open, that is available, so you can go there and patronize us. You can support the channel by going to visit the research store, to patronize it, and to share it with the people in your networks. Let's go. Let's see. You go away. Okay. So we are saying that breaking free is the key to self empowerment. And we are saying that self empowerment is what we do here. And today we are going to share how to break free from the chains of emotional dependence. How do you break free from emotional dependence? And in this discussion today, we are just discussing a few of the ways that you can use to break free. And for me, these are mine, and I know that you have yours. But we can always find a way to share our experiences. And before you even want to find out which actions to take to become emotionally independent, you have to identify your emotional triggers and work on them. What are those things that are making you depend on others, depend on food, or for happiness? Why do you have to depend on people to validate you? Why do you have to depend on food to be happy? Or why do you have to do things to please other people when you're displeasing yourself? So you have to identify all those emotional triggers, and then you work on them, because we are a work in progress. There is nothing that is so easy. It's nothing that comes. We can learn anything when we put our mind to. So we are in the process of learning, and because we know that every new day is a new lesson, so we are in the process of learning. But for your emotional independence, you have to learn, identify your emotional triggers and work on them. How do I overcome these things? And that's why we are sharing a few ways to overcome them. And for me, self-reliance is the first step to learn to be emotionally independent, because it will help you to build your self-esteem and self-confidence, and will lead to healthier relationships with others. So when you know that you can rely on yourself without really depending on anyone else or everyone else. Hey, Yankee Kyle, you are so welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining the conversation on building emotional wellness, building emotional independence. And we are saying that our first step is, these are not, I'm just giving them in this, in not in a hierarchy, in a hierarchical way. I'm just sharing, and then you can use anyone that fits you, or enhance the ones that you have been using, because I know that we all have been using different methods of building our self-confidence and our self-esteem. So we are in the business of building, sharing experiences, and growing together. So the first thing is self-reliance. And developing self-reliance can be empowering because it leads to confidence and independence. But how do you cultivate self-reliance? How do you build, how do you cultivate self-reliance? They say you start small by taking on tasks that you normally rely on others to do for you, like something as simple as cooking your own meal or doing your own laundry. So instead of you ordering in a meal today, you can decide to cook for yourself. And I'm so proud of all the people in this community who have embraced gardening, because gardening is a complete wellness practice. When you do gardening, you are exercising yourself, you are growing what you eat, you are really like a lot in one. You have a lot of solutions in one. So take on one small task that you normally rely on others to do for you. So you can decide today to cook your own food, to do your own laundry, or just do something for you that you have always relied on people to do for you. And another way that you can develop self-reliance is learn new skills that align with your interests or goals. Something like just learning a new language, learning a new tech skill. I am learning new tech skills every day. And you can see from my presentations, I have my tech coach, Laquita Marie of A Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life. She is my tech coach, and she is the reason, because behind all these beautiful presentations, they are not as bland as before. So I am learning new skills that align with my goals, that help me to make better videos and serve you better. And that's how you begin to develop self-reliance, because progressively she is not going to be there every day telling me the same things. I am going to be learning and getting independence in the use of tech. And then I can also help some other people who are in the same challenge. And you can practice decision making and problem solving skills. Start by making decisions on your own and gradually work your way up to more complex decisions. So one of the ways you can build or you can become self-reliant is to practice making decisions on your own. It's true that, like we say, sometimes you can ask for somebody's opinion, but when you are asking for somebody's opinion, you are not relying on their opinion to make your final decision. You already have a pretty good idea of what you want. You just want somebody's feedback on it, so as to really increase the value of what you bring into the table. So that's why self-reliance is one of the things that you can really do it by building progressively. Hi Rudy, you are so welcome. Bonjour, comment tu vas aujourd'hui? I am so blessed to have you, and I didn't know that you speak French. That's a good discovery. That's a good, like we are just talking about learning a new skills, which involves learning a new language. Hey, beautiful, you are so welcome, Cynthia. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your love and support. I hope you had a beautiful weekend. I hope you started a very productive week. So, we are sharing on the importance of building emotional independence, and we are sharing some ways in which you can develop the spirit of self-reliance, because we say self-reliance is key. Self-reliance means you rely on yourself. You can, other people can give you a helping hand, but you are the foundation. And that's why we always say, if it has to be, it depends on me. If it has to be, it depends on me. If I'm going to ask for help, I have to show something. Like they say, even if you're going to pray for God to bless you, give God something to bless. So if I'm going to ask for help, I have something to show, and then I can ask other people to bless what I have to show. And then another way which is so important that you can use in building self-reliance is embrace failure as a learning opportunity. Embrace failure as a learning opportunity and use it as motivation to improve. And we have always said, when you go undertake an action, an activity, or a challenge, two things happen: you either win or you learn. We don't fail. In this channel, there's nothing like failure. For us in this channel, fail is first attempt in learning. Fail for us in this channel, first attempt in learning. And so when we embrace failure as a learning opportunity, it is a sign of strength, because we are ready to learn and keep growing. We are not going to fall and remain. We are going to pick up ourselves and keep growing. And that's why it's so important to remember that developing self-reliance is a process that takes time and effort. All of these things that we need to improve for personal development, they take time. It's not something that is automatic, like you use a remote control, you just press it and it changes to the next channel. No, you have to work, you have to put in the grind, you have to take the action and get the result. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. Thank you everybody for the thumbs up, for the share. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I always so appreciate you all, because without you, we cannot grow, or we cannot go far. They say when you are alone, you go far, but when you are together, you go further. And that's why they say teamwork makes the dream work, because we are individuals building each other up. So I'm giving a long list of things that you can do to build self-reliance, because we say self-reliance is key, because self-reliance is empowering and will lead you to increase your self-confidence and the independence, the emotional independence that you're looking for, which is so, so important for your mental well-being, and which is so important for your general well-being. So when we are talking about all of these things, we are just reminding ourselves, because I know that these are some of the things that you are already doing. So the second thing that you can start working on, set boundaries. It's important to establish boundaries in relationships or in anything that you do, to avoid becoming too emotionally dependent on others, which can involve setting aside time for yourself, pursuing your own interests, and communicating your needs to others. One of the main things in relationships, like we always say, communication is key in relationships. And sometimes the people who are crossing our boundaries, they are not even aware that they are crossing our boundaries. And that is why they say you have to communicate your needs to others. Communicate your needs to the people around you, because sometimes we just think that people will understand, or we just say, guess what? It's people have so much going on with them, that it's not easy to just guess what is going on or what is challenging another person. And that's why you have to speak up. You have to speak up. You have to speak up. Thank you so much, Miss Kim. I greatly appreciate you. I know that Monday is a very busy day. I greatly appreciate your love and support. I wish you a very productive week. Thank you for everything. And so we were talking about the importance of setting boundaries to get emotional independence. And setting boundaries is something as complex, but also something very easy if you know what you want. If you have already identified the things that are your red flags. Thank you so much. You are always welcome. And I greatly appreciate your love and support. So when you are setting the boundaries, sometimes it's so complex and difficult and challenging because the boundaries, like the people you're setting boundaries with, are your family, are your friends, are your colleagues, it is your spouse, people in short with whom you relate every day. So you are with those people every day, and then you have to set the boundaries because you are just looking for a way for everybody to function optimally, which means everybody respect their own space, everybody respect what they are supposed to do. Because when everybody puts in their work, the work gets done easily. And that's why it is something that you will take time. It's a process that you work on. It's a process. It takes time and effort. It's not automatic. It's not something that you just press a magic one and it happens. Personal development is a whole process. Because why? We are a work in progress. Because why? We are becoming every new day. And that's just the way life is. We have to keep working and keep improving. So set your boundaries, and especially set aside time for yourself. Because especially for the mothers hardly have time for themselves. They hardly have a like me time, alone time. Even when they take time for themselves, they are still worried and thinking about the well-being of everyone else in the family. But it is important to just disconnect, no matter how small, even if it's just 10 minutes a day, even if it's 5 minutes. You start small. You start with 5 minute chunks of time just for yourself, just to be you, just to be alone, just to disconnect from everyone and just admire you the way you are. Just admire yourself. Hi, Taylor, Natural Life. Thank you so much for catching the live stream. Thank you for your love and support. I greatly appreciate all you do. A pleasant afternoon to you too. I hope you had a very beautiful weekend and you are starting off with a very productive week. And that's why we are setting the pace for this week. We want emotional wellness. We want emotional independence. We don't want to depend on people for validation, for the things that we can do ourselves, or for the things that directly concern us. You have to serve you first. The others can only come as a bonus. Serve you first and get a bonus when other people serve you. And so when you're setting your boundaries, remember that it is a process that takes time and effort, because some of those people that you have to set your boundaries on, absolutely, are your spouse, your family members, your children, or your colleagues. And those are people with whom you are every day. When they learn to identify when people can no longer serve you, learn to just audit them. Audit them out and get your peace of mind, because you are your priority. And for you to really audit, do this people auditing, you have to recognize the warning signs. Taylor says a lot of people you have to set your boundaries on. Absolutely, I know, right? Especially when they are family members, or we get emotionally like, how can I do this to this person? But you are your own priority and you are protecting your peace. Because if your own peace is not protected, you cannot be of good service to your family and to your spouse or to your colleagues. So you have to be the person that, like they say, you cannot share what you do not have. That's why you have to fill your cup and then you serve from your overflow. You Because you, if you serve from an empty cup, everybody will not be served. So it is important to recognize the warning signs. Signs of emotional dependence can include feeling anxious or upset when someone is unavailable, constantly seeking reassurance from others, and feeling like you can't function without someone's support. Hey, we have the queen here. Thank you so much. Oh, I know. I know that you're always there. Like, I even when I don't see you, I know that you're always there because you are the kind of backbone support that everyone needs. Thank you so much for all you do. And I greatly understand and I thank you for your service because you are serving from your overflow. I can take sewing classes because I can calculate those to calculate and cut the pieces. That is my but if you can calculate and do the cutting, I can surely do the sewing. Remove the cutting and the design, give me the sewing part and I will be your person. Don't mind me. For each their own. I know that it's your expertise and so I really celebrate you for that. So we are talking about the importance of recognizing the warning signs of emotional dependence. How do you know that you are emotionally dependent? Yes, we can. In a team, I can do it in a team because you are going to do the calculations and the cutting, and then I'm going to do the sewing. Or I can also hem. I can hem very well. So it's a teamwork, and teamwork makes the dream work. So how do you know that you are emotionally dependent? So one of the most common ways for you to really know that you are emotionally dependent is when you have obsessive thoughts or preoccupation with a particular person. You think you can't live without the person. If you have not seen that person, you think there's something lacking in you, and then you begin to think that you are incomplete because of someone or because of something or because of some food. So that's how you recognize that you are emotionally dependent on something. One of the ways you have an obsessive thought or preoccupation with a particular person. We are not saying that you shouldn't think about people. We are saying it shouldn't become an obsession where you think you cannot survive without the person. So you can think about the person and like in terms of you completing each other, you partnering with each other, but not like you depending on that person. Like if the person is not there, you are mentally deranged. That is the kind of sign that we are saying, stop, do not enter. Do not let those kind of thoughts occupy permanent space in your mind because they're going to drain you, they're going to bring you down. Another way of recognizing the warning sign: difficulty in making decisions without consulting the person or the persons you are obsessed with. Hey boss, this is my mentor and my coach. Thank you so much, boss, for taking time always to come and support. I love you. You are loved. You are celebrated. And you are always welcome. Thank you so much. You know, guys, when your boss and your teacher is there, you have to adjust and pick your words very seriously. But I know that Joe can trust me because she is a good teacher. I am a good student because she is a good teacher. Thank you, boss, for everything. I greatly appreciate and celebrate you. So we are looking for the how do you recognize? How do you recognize? Thank you, boss. So we are saying, how do we recognize those warning signs? The first thing we say, when you are having obsessive thought or preoccupation with a particular person. Secondly, when it is difficult for you to make a decision without consulting that person. Or sometimes, thirdly, when you are feeling anxious or insecure without constant reassurance from that person. That's in when you want to wear your dress, you think, what would that person think? Is it going to please the person? No, it's you first. You have to find yourself first. And so when you start having all these feelings, you have to recognize that those are signs of emotional dependence. And then ultimately, when you start neglecting your own needs and interests in favor of the other person's, or you feel a sense of worthlessness and emptiness without the person's presence and attention, that is a warning sign. And that's something that you say, stop, I am not going to let you to control me. I am going to develop my own self-reliance. And so we said from the beginning that before you start looking for your independence, emotional independence, you have to identify those things that make you emotionally dependent. And this is why we are talking about recognizing the warning signs. When you recognize these warning signs, we have shared like 4 or 5 here. They are not limited, but those are some of the sure warning signs that, hey, I have to start working on my emotional well-being because this is not getting me to where I want to be. Absolutely. Self-reliance. We talked a lot about self-reliance in this before now in this presentation. So we've talked a lot about self-reliance. And so when you recognize that you are obsessed or preoccupied with the opinion of somebody or some people or some person, that's a warning sign. When you have difficulty in making your own decisions without consulting, like somebody you say, if well, once this person tells me that this thing is good, then I know I'm good to go. No, it's once you feel satisfied with it, then you are good to go. It's not when somebody tells you it is good to go. You have to feel that you are satisfied and then you give yourself. You can, like we say, you can ask somebody's opinion just to corroborate and not to be the center of what your decision is based on. And that's why we're saying recognize those warning signs and work on them. And know that it's a process. It's not something that is going to change overnight or something that you're going to make a habit overnight. You are going to work on them progressively before step by step, and then they will become a habit. And sometimes it's difficult for you to do it alone. Sometimes it's difficult for you to do it alone, and that's why it is always important to seek professional help if needed. If you find yourself struggling with emotional dependence, consider seeking professional help from a therapist, a counselor, a coach, or a community of people who can provide guidance on how you can become self-reliant, on the actions and activities that you can take to become self-reliant. I told you already, Boss Life is my coach. Boss Life is my coach. I had to seek professional help from her to help me with marketing, to help me with leadership, to help me with building my channel. And she is an accomplished professional. She has a track record. She has like 4 or 5 monetized YouTube channels. She's been in the marketing business for more than 25 years. Who else can you go to for help than to someone who has a proven record, who has succeeded in the things that you want to, that you are trying to succeed at? So seek professional help if needed. And we have always said here that seeking help is a sign of true power. Because most often people think that if they ask for help, it's a sign of weakness. No, asking for help is a sign of true power because you recognize that you cannot do it on your own. And it is okay not to have all the answers, because why? We have Michael Jordan level talent at one thing in our lives, or two things, a few things, but we don't have that talent in everything. So the one thing that you are good at, do yours and source out, ask for help for, from experts in the areas where you need help with, because everybody is an expert in their own area, and you can never be an expert in everything. No matter how good Michael Jordan is in basketball, I bet you he doesn't he will not have the same level of talent in lawn tennis, for example. But in his own lane, he is the best. He is the GOAT, the greatest of all times, as they say. So seeking for professional help is not a sign of weakness. It is a big sign of strength. You recognize your strengths, and then you also recognize that the weaknesses you have is something that you can source out to the experts in that area, because all of it is about teamwork. And like they say, team means together everyone achieves more. I'm in the team. I am bringing my writing skills. The other person is bringing their packaging and video skills, editing skills, and all of that. We are bringing them together to produce a real successful viral video. But if it's only my writing, it's not enough to make the video viral. You have all those technical aspects, b-rolls, adding all those ingredients that will make for more success and to make you to stand out. So when you are building your emotional independence, you are knowing that seeking for professional help is really, really important when you need it. But also, it is important to find the best people in the area in which you are looking for help for. So you are not just going to find anybody to ask for help. You are going to identify the professionals in the things that you want help in. So you identify the people that will give you success, the people that have already succeeded in what you are trying to build, the people that have succeeded in what you're trying to learn. They will help you to become what you are becoming, or what your better version, or to become successful. So when you are seeking for professional help, be it from a therapist, from a counselor, from a coach, or from a mentor, all of these things are a sign that you are powerful enough. You know that you are going to succeed, but you know that you cannot do it alone. You know that you need help. You know that when you are doing it with the help of other people, it is easier. You save yourself money, you save yourself time, you save yourself stress. A coach will save you stress, money, time. So all the time that you will take to figure it out by yourself, and how am I going to do this, and get more stress, get a coach, get a counselor, get a therapist. They will help you to shorten the process for you. And that's why everybody is important in their own thing that they are doing. Because why? We all need each other, because it's a teamwork, it's a together thing. So when you are thinking about building your emotional independence, you are thinking about all the people that you need in the environment, in the things that you really know that they can help you in. And when you are seeking help, really, what else do you need than to find somebody who has succeeded in what you're going to do? And to our when we come back to our topic, when we say emotional independence is the key to self-empowerment, it's not a joke, because that is the key. When you break free and you put yourself emotionally independent and ready to take on all the things that you need to grow. And when you're taking the action that you need to grow, you are taking small steps. You are going bit by bit. You are not going to embrace everything together or in one day, because why? It is a process that takes time, and you are taking baby steps. You remember the baby, they start by trying to sit, and then when they can sit comfortably on their own without falling, they try to start creeping, and then they creep. Very soon they start holding things to stand. And so many times they stand and fall. Sometimes they really get hurt. Sometimes they cry. But what are they doing? They continue. It's a process. And because unconsciously they know that progress comes in the process. So it is when you continue growing, it is when you continue crawling, it's when you continue holding and walking, that you finally now become, you start walking, you start running, and then you start succeeding. So all of those things, they are so important, but you have to take real effort, commitment, because they will not happen overnight. They will not happen just like that. It is a work in progress, because nothing good comes easy. And you know that you are building your independence, your self-esteem, your self-confidence. You want to become successful, but you also want to be self-reliant, because why? Self-reliance is key. Self-reliance is key. It's your key to learning to be emotionally independent. And you start small, you learn new skills, you practice decision making from the smallest decisions before you go to start practicing how to take decisions on your career, on your lifestyle, on all those big things. Start by taking decisions on the food you want to eat today, how you want your day to run, because everything depends on you. And then you build your support system of people you trust, who can offer guidance and advice when needed. What did we say? Surround yourself with people you trust. Build your support system with the people that you trust, because no matter what happens, there are some 2 or 3 people in your environment or in your networks that you trust, and those are the people that you build with, because you are in the business of building each other up. Bonjour Serette, j'espère que tu vas bien aujourd'hui. It's always a pleasure to have you. I hope that you are safe with all the problems that are in France. I hope that where you are is safe because France is boiling. J'espère que tu es en sécurité et que ta famille, vous allez bien, vous toutes. Praying for you. So I'm coming back to self-reliance because that is the key to you building your self-confidence, to you increasing your self-esteem, to you increasing your independence because you are building on a support system that provides a solid foundation for your growth and well-being, for your complete growth and well-being. So I'm so blessed to have you all. We have had a real good hour talking about emotional independence. And we had started by saying emotional independence is the state. Okay. Emotional independence is the state of relying heavily on another. When they say emotional dependence is a state of relying heavily on another person for emotional support, validation, and identity. And we are saying that this is not good because it is harmful and can ultimately damage your mental health. And here we are building our mental health because we understand the principle that when you are mentally okay, every other thing regarding your well-being is okay. And that's why you have to work on it to build emotional independence. And so I want to thank you all who are in the chat. I greatly appreciate you. Please connect with each other if you have not connected already. And we have new things in the channel. You can visit the Reset store, patronize us, share with your networks so we continue growing together. We are all resilient champions, and it is always a pleasure. Oui, 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 oui. Je comprends. Dieu est grand. Thank you so much, boss. It is always an honor for me when you are here. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your mentorship. I greatly appreciate you. I love you so much. Hi, Roxanne, you are welcome. You are coming in when we are going. I want to thank the 6 million people who are still in the chat. I want to thank even those who are going to watch the replay. It is always an honor. Thank you so much. But before we go, remember you are not a failure because you failed at some things at some point. You are a work in progress, and there is always room for improvement. Identify that one thing that you are good at and do you. Be authentic, but never feel ashamed to ask for help because seeking help is a sign of true power. Thank you all. I wish you all a very productive week. Let's keep working on our emotional independence so that we can stop being emotionally dependent on people. Thank you all. Have a very beautiful day. I will see you all in the YT streets. Have a beautiful day. Take care, you all.